everybody, it's the Law and Gnome, and welcome to another DCAU update for the month of December 2020. And I am actually very excited for this specific episode because, as of now, we are officially caught up in regards to all of the DC animated original universe library, as well as the animated original movie library. That is right. At this point in time, until the new movies get released, I have officially reviewed all of the movies for you here on my channel. And I'm really looking forward to next year, taking a look at what DC Animation has to offer. So we are going to conclude 2020 with probably one of the most boldest and innovative DC animated movies that we ever got. And ironically, it was only the second film, and that is Justice League: The New Frontier, based on the Darwyn Cooke miniseries, which I'm very glad to have actually read the source material for, just so I could see how it was adapted into film format. This also was the very first time that we got the Justice League in an animated film that was given a PG-13 rating. And like I said, it's unlike any of the animated films that we had gotten before, and even moving forward, this one really does stand out because it is such a unique take on the superheroes of DC. This film takes place within a span of 10 years, from the end of the Korean War in 1953 to 1963, right before JFK's assassination. And in the world of comic book history, that was actually when we had officially left the golden age of comics and moved right into the silver age. We saw the superhero world collide with what was going on in the world, especially in America at the time. We saw the United States fighting communism. We saw United States going into space for the first time, and just making sure that the American people were safe. But the other big question was, did the American people still feel safe under their government, which they were starting to lose faith in? We didn't really see America truly lose faith in their government until the late 1960s in the heat of the Vietnam War, but this was officially starting to show those seeds of distrust and disbelief in the people that had claimed to keep the American people safe. And the interesting thing about Justice League: The New Frontier is the fact that the superheroes are caught in the crossfire. Superman really doesn't know what to do right now because he is so torn with how the government is running things and how the people feel. Batman is being hunted. Wonder Woman doesn't trust in man's world anymore, and she leaves to go back to Themyscira. But then there's a whole new group of superheroes that are starting to emerge and show the world, especially America, that there is still hope. We get Barry Allen, the Flash. We also see Hal Jordan become the Green Lantern in this film. This is really Green Lantern's origin story. And we even see the Martian Manhunter come to Earth and show people in America's government that even though the outsider may look a little bit different, it doesn't mean that they are not peaceful, and also wants what the human race wants, which is just peace, prosperity, and goodwill. This movie has a lot of great drama, a lot of slow dialogue-driven moments, which are definitely interesting to see, and it all revolves around this villainous entity known as the Center, which is not necessarily a villainous entity. We see this in a lot of movies now, especially in a lot of Disney animation now, antagonists that have a lot of shades of gray. The Center is a being that lived on Earth in the ground since the dawn of time, and it watched man evolve, and it just didn't like where it was going. They were just creating nothing but war and torment and pain, and they were killing themselves and killing the environment and just destroying the planet, and the Center had just had enough and believed that the only way that the Earth was going to live on in peace and prosperity was for the human race to die. But when the Center finally shows itself, the superheroes of the world show us that there is still good in this world, and even when the superheroes are still being judged by the governments, we still see them show that they just want what the human race wants, and that is to just live in peace alongside everybody. This film also has a fantastic cast. Every voice in this film plays their character beautifully. Kyle MacLachlan as Superman, Jeremy Sisto as Batman, Neil Patrick Harris as The Flash, David Boreanaz as Green Lantern, and Lucy Lawless as Wonder Woman, just to name a few. There are also other great well-known names in this movie, like Brooke Shields, who plays Carol Ferris, and it is just such a great movie. But also, the best part about this movie, besides the story, is definitely the animation, because it looks like Darwyn Cooke's novels come to life. And as someone who has read them and saw what they were like in the pages of those books, they just did a phenomenal job just filling in those gaps and just creating this unique animation style. And like I said, the fact that they chose to do this story for the very first PG-13 Justice League movie was very admirable and very bold, because you would not expect this to come right out of the gate. This was one that you would probably see somewhere down the line. I mean, you would expect a movie like Justice League Crisis on Two Earths maybe to come out first, especially considering the fact that it was supposed to be a season of Justice League Unlimited, but unfortunately the show got canceled soon after the last episode. So I highly recommend Justice League: The New Frontier. It is truly one that just stands out, and it is such a fantastic, drama-driven story. I highly recommend it. You will never look at superheroes the same way again, and one of the things that I really do appreciate about this film is that it really does give us a lot of undertones as to how the comic book industry was being treated in this time frame, because superheroes were created in the 1930s, but after World War II, there were people that said that comic books were not good for kids and that they were brainwashing them and just making them stupider. But it wasn't until the Silver Age of comics, when the space race really started to take flight, that kids really got back into comics, also because of the fact that there were a lot of new rules put in place, and comics were supposed to follow a specific formula so it could be safe and reader-friendly for lots of different kinds of people, but especially children. But even though a lot of people called that time a little bit campy and a little bit childish, we still got a new influx of readers and a whole new influx of superheroes, and it really was one of the better times for comics, because look at where we are right now. Even though there is a little bit of negativity, there are some amazing things happening in the world of comics. You just need to know where to look. So that's it, everybody. That is my thoughts and review for Justice League: The New Frontier. Please put your comments in the box below. I'd love to talk to you about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next year when we continue on with the DCAU update. I am very excited to talk about new DC animated movies, television shows, etc. So I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.